Gulf Cemetery is uniquely positioned within eyesight of the beautiful waters of the Gulf of Mexico. On Memorial Day 2014, the cemetery celebrated an historic milestone, the 100-year anniversary of its establishment by a land patent granted by President Woodrow Wilson. In 2013, Gulf Cemetery was designated a State of Florida Heritage Site. At the Memorial Day ceremony, a permanent marker memorializing its heritage site status was unveiled. Thousands of locals and tourists pass the 40-acre cemetery every day, yet few know much about its tenuous past or significance to the community. The original Gulf Cemetery Association was formed by 5 local citizens in 1913. Over the ensuing 30 years, the cemetery land was erroneously sold 3 times for supposed delinquent taxes, and as recently as 2006, there was an effort by local developers to encroach on the cemetery's land for an access road. About 500 individuals are interred in the cemetery, of which approximately 20% are military veterans, including the remains of 2 unknown soldiers. The Gulf Cemetery community has several traditions that it holds close to heart. There's a ceremony every Memorial Day, replete with military honor guards and aircraft flyovers, honoring those who have served our country. Perhaps the most touching tradition is the placing of American flags by children on each veteran's gravesite during the Memorial Day service. Gulf Cemetery, a place of dignity, respect, and honor.
Can I proceed with that before we go to the benediction?
But our purpose on this Memorial Day and this historic occasion, it's solemn and important to remember and honor those who died and to find in their death a reason and a purpose to live. We're in a cemetery, and I find the words of the author of the book of Hebrews very, very interesting as they apply to us. Here's what he said. He listed all of the significant historic figures in the history of Israel, and after naming them all and saying what they accomplished, he wrote these words. Since we have such a crowd of witnesses about us, speaking of all those who had already passed on, let us lay aside anything that slows us down and holds us back, and especially the sins that wrap themselves so tightly around our feet and trip us up. And let us run with patience the race God has set before us, keeping our eyes on him, our leader and instructor, the author and finisher of our faith. Now look around us. This is a cemetery. You see memorial stones and crosses, but there's more than stones and crosses, for we're surrounded by witnesses. And that's what the author of the Hebrews said. We're surrounded by witnesses, some of whom we knew, some we never met. Yet all are witnesses of us, of our families, of our community, and of our nation. What do you think they see? What do these witnesses see in us who are the living today? What would they say of us? And we can add to this list of witnesses all of those buried in 165 national cemeteries, another 24 military cemeteries overseas, 1,205 service members are buried overseas, 94,000 are remembered on tablets missing in action. Over 400,000 or over 94,000 are buried in Arlington National Cemetery. The remains of over 40,000 are there, the youngest of whom was a private in the Army, so it's not all presidents and generals buried in Arlington. The first one was an Army private who enlisted in 1864, and he died 3 months later in 1864. The first one buried in Arlington.